How now, brown cow?
It's...
The water is wet. It's steaming wet. Hey!
Hey!
If you like this content, please subscribe.
You can leave a comment.
Like it.
We're also on Anchor.
We're on Anchor. Both of our podcasts are on Anchor. So if you're on the go and you want to listen instead of having to watch YouTube, you can find us there.
It also works on Spotify as well.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks. Weird.
You ever get water where it's so steamy, like it hits you and it just makes water again?
Yeah, that's what steam is.
True.
Water.
True. You're right. You're right. It's coffee break.
We're
Yay!
back.
2023.
Woo!
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. We took a week off.
Yep.
For Christmas
And New Year's.
and New Year's. Yeah. And now we're back.
We are back. There was a plan to do an episode last week, but that didn't make any sense.
We were just tired, and I'm sure you all get it. And we gave you that really cool garbage eggs episode.
Yeah, and I was like, fine. So consider that the thrice dawning of Chrysosaurus.
Yeah.
So this year won't have one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. What you're hearing outside is...
Oh yeah, there's some children playing, but it's okay.
They're playing because, weirdly enough, yesterday was an all rainy day in the desert. Mm-hmm. Which is just weird.
And it was really lovely.
It was nice. It was very nice.
And
you also hear the dogs fighting.
Yep, they're also playing. And so now today, it's a nice sunny day, and everyone's got that jitterbug inside them.
Yep.
Want to run around and do stuff.
Also, we're coming out of the New Year phase where, I don't know, if you're like me, you probably partied too hard in a different way.
And also, we're recording a little earlier than we usually do.
We are.
So we got the opportunity to.
We wanted to knock this one out and just get it done with.
Just have a nice, fun little chill coffee break time with you all.
So the holidays.
Yep.
The holidays are officially over.
Yep. Finally. You already see, the stores putting Valentine's Day stuff up.
Yep. Which is way too preemptive.
It's so early, but I get it. But when you get chocolates from your little Valentine sweetheart, sit there and think to yourself, were these one of the chocolates that got put up back in, January?
The most likely are. Guys, can you stop shaking?
They got to. They got to come, sniff, and shake.
So, God, the holidays.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Getting older and just not having anyone to really spend it with besides you and the dogs.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
It was definitely the thing where, by, December 25th, I was like, all right, I'm done with it. We can put it all away.
And I spent most of my day today, this is Monday, the Tuesday before we record it, putting all of that away. My house looks so much better. The sunlight comes in.
Yep. It's bright.
I burnt an incense, which I can't do with the trees because they're flammable.
As lovely as the tree is, and I do like my Christmas stuff, it's nice to get, because it always feels so cluttery, because you just kind of got to push your normal things out of the way to make room for your Christmas things. And, and now it's all over. On to the new year. I'm excited. I think it'll be a good one.
It's crazy how the downstairs just looks like a whole, not a whole new house, but it looks like a place that I live in.
Yeah, it's so much, you're right, bigger, brighter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's lovely.
New Year's wasn't much of a celebration for me.
No, I didn't plan on staying up past midnight. I did. That was a mistake.
That was funny.
Because I was gonna do this thing where I mix brandy with eggnog, but apparently the store didn't have any eggnog.
They were completely gone.
And I drank too much brandy, and it didn't do anything other than I kind of...
Oh, it definitely did something.
Yes, I didn't have a headache or anything. It wasn't my usual, hangover the next day. It just made me, need to throw up.
Well, I did something that a responsible adult would do, is I went to a dispensary that afternoon and bought edibles.
Yeah.
And I usually like to take my time. I enjoy, it's a different high. Everyone talked about it, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's still a drug and I'm still using it, but I woke up, the 1st yesterday? Around 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And my mind was just like shifting into thoughts like a kaleidoscope.
Okay.
And I was like, what is going on here? And then I realized, oh no, a whole like chunk of edibles is missing. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm all messed up throughout the whole day. This morning, like I said, I was doing chores. Found it, half eaten.
Yeah, there's like
sitting on this desk in this office.
Like a perfect, huge bite mark taken through it.
I have no idea why I was at my computer eating this edible. The computer wasn't even on. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, I must have just came in here and just sat there and thought about things.
You might have been looking for something, like a notebook or a lighter or something. I don't know.
I ruined a really cool box.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was that special Metallica cigar box.
Oh, how'd you ruin it?
I left the edible on it, and it got its goo on it.
Oh, you can just wash it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I threw that away.
I don't partake in that stuff. I don't do it.
Other than that, you stayed up till midnight.
I did. Which, I was watching something. I was watching my own videos, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I was watching my own
Narcissist.
Ever After High videos. Well, because I'm going to do another one soon. And I wanted to, like, get re-caught up on everything I had said. And it's funny, I remember watching the videos, like, clicking on them, but I don't actually remember the video, like, watching them.
Yeah.
It was just, like, there, and then everything's blurry, and then I come back to, it's like, time to click on the next video, and then I fade back out, fade back in. Until eventually, like, I should go to bed.
So, Ever After High, why were you watching them?
Because I'm finally gonna get back. I've wanted to get back to reviewing the next part for a while.
Yeah.
But so many things kept popping up that was distracting me. And so now, like, I'm going to do it. It's going to be now. Now is the time.
And we talked about this in the last podcast, how I messed up and got the wrong streaming service.
Yeah.
So we have Paramount Plus, which we're going to talk about Paramount Plus.
Yeah, we thought...
Minus Yellowstone. Calm down.
Yeah. I think we mentioned it last time, but we didn't think there's anything to watch on Paramount. And we found a couple things to check out.
Yep. And I don't think it's worth having more than a month.
No.
But we watched Monster High.
We did.
The musical, the live-action musical of last year.
Yep.
Even though it was 2 days ago.
It was great. I liked it a lot.
So, the only introduction I've had to Monster High was with you and your videos. Mm-hmm. And the stupid animation. And I kind of caught on to some of the characters. And I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense and all that. Mm-hmm. I watched this whole film. Made by Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. Definitely for, 8 to 12-year-old girls.
Yeah. It's definitely the target audience.
that was definitely the target audience. I'm super critical, and I will, believe it or not the way I'm actually talking or sounding right now, but I am hypercritical about things. But when I was watching Monster High, it was easy for me to turn off all of that and just enjoy it.
Yes. It's if you want to be, you can be like, oh, the sets look cheap. But then you have to sit back and go, of course they do. It's a Nickelodeon movie.
And you definitely can't do that. That's not fair. Mm-hmm. It's a studio thing. It's a television movie. Mm-hmm. And it works and functions the same way. It's not as good as, like, what was that one? You know, with the Zac Efron and he's playing basketball.
High School Musical?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never watched them.
No, that's a really good one. That's a good one to look at and study and really understand, like, this is how you do it. Monster High doesn't have those highlights or lowlights. It's just its own thing. It's kind of boring but fun.
I enjoy it. It's definitely
The songs were updated to match modern music.
Yes.
While choreography was still in the High School Musical times.
It was definitely, yeah. not amazing choreo. Not awful. I enjoyed it a lot. Bright fun, especially if you like know the characters and stuff.
The makeup.
Yes, lots of effort. Lots of effort.
Horrible. They definitely put a lot of effort into what little budget they had. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I liked was, what's the third roommate? The Dracula?
Draculaura?
Okay, whatever. Her dad is Dracula, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that they made him look like Bela Lugosi.
It was a cute
than any other Dracula. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They decided to go with that. The bad guy had implants for muscles.
Yeah, that was probably the worst part as far as special practical effects go. I did appreciate the fact that it leaned into practical effects because they knew their CG was really not it.
Yeah.
So they knew what to do. They focused on the important parts. No, I enjoyed it. I'll probably talk about it in a full video sometime soon.
They left it open for a sequel, and I was like, let's do the sequel.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Let's check that out. I don't know how it's doing. Okay, I ran into this issue during the holidays, and I really wanted to bring this up. Fake cheese.
So, okay.
This goes back all the way to my argument against Velveeta.
Oh, that kind of cheese. I was like, what is fake cheese?
So I went to a Kroger grocery store. It's a huge chain here in North America. Mm-hmm. I bought their own brand of white queso.
Yes.
Tried to make it. It was okay the first time. The second time?
Yeah. The second time.
It burnt so bad that the bottom of it was like rubber.
Yes. Like, it literally felt like a toy. Like the plastic off of a toy.
Mm-hmm. It was nasty.
And also, just like flavor-wise, it's just cheese. Like, it's nothing spectacular.
Nah.
Like, you didn't need to buy a whole brick. And it's a weirdly complicated... Sorry about the airplane. It was a weirdly complicated song and dance. What? It was a weirdly complicated song and dance to, like, get it to be the consistency of queso. Mm-hmm. So unnecessary. So stupid of a product.
Tried to work with it. Here's my thing. Do any of you actually like this shit?
Like Velveeta? It's such a white person thing, too. And even then, every white person I talk to is like, ew, no.
It's nasty. I was just horrified. I was like, people actually ate this?
It's a weird, like, relic of the time. It's like condensed milk, you know? Like that used to be a thing. People used to use that all the time.
Well, I was looking it up, and here was the big problem the FDA had, which I was like,
wow.
I'm glad that you kind of somewhat are looking out for us, but you don't actually care.
What's the problem?
But the problem was they took, what do they call it? Like condensed milk protein.
Ooh.
Ripped it out and made a powder form, and then they re-add that powder form to it. And they're like, that doesn't classify as a cheese product.
That doesn't classify as a cheese product? What does classify as a cheese product?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I was horrified. I was like, wait.
Why is it called
taking the protein
cheese?
out of cheese and then making it a powder form and re-adding it, and then all of a sudden it's not cheese anymore?
Listen, we as Americans, we're pretty forgiving when it comes to cheese. Like, Cheez-Its, that sure is cheese. Like, Cheese Whiz.
Oh, God.
That's some, like, when you said fake cheese, I thought Cheese Whiz, but man, ew.
Cheese Whiz scares me.
Have you ever had any?
No.
It's not great. It's so, like, I would love to, I've had it. I would love to show it to you, but I don't want to have to buy a whole can of Cheese Whiz. Because it's so not worth the whole can.
Yeah, I've always wanted to buy a can, but I'm also like, it's not worth it because I'm going to try it one time and just throw it away. I already know. I'm just going to be like, no.
And it's always like $3. It's like, I'm going to spend $3 on cheese I'm not even going to eat? When you could spend like $1, maybe $2 on like a packet, like a whole package of actual cheese.
Maybe we could put it on like a Ritz, right?
Yeah, that's what they do.
And then we're done. And then we could just give it to the boys in their food bowls.
I don't...
Feed it to the dogs,
Barry's lactose intolerant. I don't know if you could do Cheese Whiz very well.
I'm just kidding. I don't like it. I'm just wondering, how many of you guys actually use Velveeta and enjoy it?
Yeah.
I know I've asked this multiple times, but like, do you legitimately enjoy this nasty fake cheese?
I only ever hear people talk about like, oh, my mom uses it. Oh, my grandparents, some older person.
Yeah.
No one our age is using it.
Why would they?
What's this next thing you got on your list?
Oh, studios can be sued for deceptive trailers?
I thought this was already a thing.
Yeah, so this is... Hold on. This coffee break, we're going back to our scripting.
Yeah, we have a list. It's because we stepped away from it for a while, and there's a lot to talk about.
And there are pros and cons to having the loose form, and then there's this form of being scripted. I found this interesting. I didn't look too further into it, but it had to really do with Marvel, the MCU, showing different trailers, because they was pointing out that they're changing these trailers so when you watch the movie, something else happens.
Like, in a shot where you see one Spider-Man jumping at some bad guys, in the movie there's 3 Spider-Men.
Yes, things like that.
But they were doing that because people kept trying to spoil the movies.
Yeah, well, somebody made the counter argument that if I'm going to pay to watch this movie and you show me a trailer, that I should actually get that and not whatever the hell you decided to fake it as.
I do understand. Like, I think they would have, like, if they were just open, like in that very first trailer for, like, Homecoming, for example. Not Homecoming. Far From Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Wait, which one are you talking
about? The third one.
Yeah, No Way.
If they were just in that very first trailer they dropped for No Way Home, and they were like, the other 2 are going to be here. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. They're also going to be here. And I don't think anyone would have... Like, I don't think keeping it as a super secret surprise for in the theaters, I don't think that helped anything.
Well, I think it has to do more with if Tom Holland was standing there, right? And then all of a sudden Ned and Zendaya were right there next to him.
Yeah.
Right? But really it was supposed to be Toby
and Andrew, yeah.
And Andrew. That's what they're really after. And not after, like, oh, maybe you slightly change it up.
I guess.
Because you shouldn't have to give away your whole goddamn movie in a trailer.
True, but, like, if it's things like that, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the selling point, is the fact that these other Spider-Man... It'd be like if, I don't know, in, like, Garfield 2, the second animated Garfield movie, they were like, and let's keep it a secret that there's a second cat that looks exactly like Garfield. It's like, that kind of feels like part of the point you're selling.
Are you talking about the story of 2 kitties?
Yeah. I think of that movie surprisingly a lot. It's not good.
I've never seen it. I was thinking...
Yeah?
Trailers. Right? Your trailer definitely needs to have a hook, right? If you don't have a hook, why the hell would anyone watch it? True. And I came across this film, which it's a horror film that came out this last year, 2022, in September, called The Invitation.
Oh.
So I watched The Invitation during this weekend.
I got like the last 10-15 minutes of it.
That's all you needed.
Uh-huh.
That's all you... And whatever other... searches I did outside of it, because I got halfway through the film and I was like, what is this?
I was so disappointed because the trailers kind of intrigued me. And then you told me what it was about and I was like, oh, really?
And that's the dumbest thing. The trailers make it seem like we're this special, proper family that kind of wants to be part of it.
A bit of like a murder mystery type deal.
But really what it was a shitty retelling of Dracula.
Yeah, it's just vampires.
But they couldn't afford the rights to say Dracula, and they never actually state his name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
At one point he says, I am known as the son of the dragon in Transylvania. And she's like, so you should be... And then they just cut that off.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The ending is amazing.
It was so bad.
I've seen Bollywood clips that were better than that.
The part that got me was like she's doing this final fight thing, and 2 of them like go into a battle, and she just lays on the ground for like 10 minutes as the other 2 battle. Like she doesn't bother getting up and running away.
Yep.
And then she grabs some garrote wire.
Yep.
And cuts a dude's hand off.
Dracula.
Slowly. And also, that's not...
Slowly cuts through the flesh, rips right through the bone.
Yeah.
Like, we just ignore the fact that there's fucking bones in the arms.
It was so goofy.
And then tells him something like, I'm a woman, no man. And it just, like, kicks him into the flame.
Female
the CGI,
catchphrase.
Yeah, CGI flame burns him alive, CGI alive. And then we have to watch it even more to really prove out a point. And that was the end of the movie.
Wasn't that a Blumhouse film?
No.
It wasn't?
It wasn't.
Damn, Blumhouse, I'm sorry.
But Blumhouse has their new one coming out.
Megan?
Megan.
Oh, you keep calling it The Meg, and I keep thinking you're referring to that movie about a really big shark.
They're definitely going to jump it.
I want to watch the trailers.
I want to watch Megan. Not in theaters, but God, it looks so dumb.
It looks really bad. It's the shot where she's like dancing. I'm like, I know for a fact this dance thing is gonna come out of nowhere. You brought this up.
We've seen so many trailers, and you're like, you can tell when it's a girl and when it's just a robot.
Yeah.
And I've been watching it, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
It's not cool. It's bad. It looks bad.
But you can watch the trailer. One of those trailers tells you exactly what the movie is and how this is going to play out.
True.
And it's like, you don't actually have to watch it.
I would say, when it comes to deceptive trailers, it's more like, I can't think of a specific example, but there are when, like, this does happen, where the trailers make it look like it's gonna be like a cutesy, fun, haha, romance, and then the actual movie is, like, not. It's, like, a serious drama thing.
I hate when they do that.
There was something, I can't remember, but there was a movie that came out, like, 7 years ago or something, where that was a big deal, that the trailers just made it look completely different than the actual movie is.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah, that's what I think you could get sued over, is lying about the tone.
So, Godzilla vs. King Kong 2 is rumored to have Space Godzilla as the enemy. According to these rumors, they're going to change how Space Godzilla works. Because what I was reading, in the original Japanese version, Godzilla's DNA got mixed with the black hole and created Space Godzilla.
Jesus. Sometimes they make it. I always forget there's like the little fairy fae princess twins.
Did you know they wrote out that scene?
Did they
and
really?
Didn't film it?
What?
For King of the Monsters?
I'm upset.
I laughed so hard when I saw that.
I'm upset.
Because I showed you that. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then when we were watching King of the Monsters, I was like, you're missing them. And it was a joke. You don't need them at all.
You don't, but I like them. They're such a weird,
these little Japanese women twins, fairy size, sing this song in harmony that brings back Mothra.
Yes. They get referenced a lot.
It's weird.
It is weird. I don't know about Space Godzilla. Like, as far as, like, a baddie to fight, cool, whatever. I just feel like they have other avenues they have better set up for.
Yeah.
Like, since we've dabbled with mechs, we could definitely do Jet Jaguar.
Jet would be fun.
Jet would be a lot of fun. We have Destroya set up for a couple of movies now.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to pull the trigger on Destroya because it's in its title. It will destroy your franchise.
Yes, but I want it.
And that might be, if you do that, let Jet Jaguar show up to replace Godzilla for some time.
Mm-hmm. Could be fun. I like Jet Jaguar. I like all of them. I like Godzilla. I like Kaiju.
This movie will also talk about the Battle of the Titans.
Okay.
Like that prehistoric battle that they're leading into.
Cool.
With Kong and Godzilla.
I hope we see Batra.
Maybe.
That's another one. I like Batra.
And they're supposed to open this up to do a TV series with Apple.
Ooh, Apple could do it. They really like big, blockbustery.
Yeah, but they're focused just on Titans. I think that would work.
I think so.
Yeah.
No dialogue. Do it like a nature documentary, but without even a narrator. No David Attenborough. Just giant monsters fighting each other.
I hate that you said that because now my mind is working.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what I want. Oh my god.
Do I keep that in the podcast or cut it out?
No, keep it. So then when it happens, I get all the royalties.
I don't think you'll get royalties. But
I can get credit.
That's a brilliant idea.
It is.
Everyone's favorite MCU franchise, Eternals, is rumored to be getting a second one.
Great.
And it's showing up on professionals' resumes.
Oh, like who? Anyone I should care about? There's so many of them.
Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh.
Did I get him right?
Isn't that a fantasy hero of legend?
Yes. Mythological.
Yes.
Anyways, supposedly some of the actors from Eternals, their resumes are showing up with Eternals 2, which is not planned for Phase 5. But
maybe it'll be a TV show. Maybe
Marvel's known to just surprise us and drop little things like that.
Now that we have circled back into the beginning of a new year, it's right back to the beginning of, waiting for July for all the things to get announced. There'll be Comic-Con soon.
That's very true.
Yep.
Jeremy Renner, everyone's favorite Hawkeye.
Yep, Hawkeye. This is actually really crazy to me. He's in critical condition from a snowplow incident.
A snowplow incident outside of Reno, Nevada, where he lives. They got heavy snowfall.
I'm imagining
but no other details are revealed. Apparently he's going to recover just fine, but
yeah, they say
he got messed up bad.
He's in critical but stable condition. So I imagine he got hit by the snowplow.
What kind of plow is he using?
Unless he was he using it or was someone else using it and they just hit him? Like, there's so many questions.
I would think the world's greatest marksman could just sniper off somebody before they hit them with a snowplow.
Also, doesn't he drive a Jeep? What kind of snowplow
Yeah.
would fuck up a Jeep?
Also, the power of his own music.
Unless
Wouldn't that revitalize him? Yes, Jeremy Renner has music. Go check it out.
This is just...
It's not bad.
It's kind of weird, because, like, I really like Jeremy Renner, and so this is a weird one. Like, I hope he gets better soon. I hope he's fine. I hope it's just blown way out of proportion. You know? Like, he's like, oh, his leg got fucked up, but he's actually totally fine. I don't know.
I actually hope the guy's okay.
I do, too. Get better soon, Jeremy.
We love you.
We love you. You're my favorite Hawk guy.
The only Hawk guy I know. Anyways, Destination Fear has been going on. This is that ghost show that we watch on Discovery.
Yeah. I think we're halfway through it by now.
Yeah, it finally decided to actually have its theme show up.
Well, they don't have their theme's pretty weak this season, I'll be honest. It's they just don't have flashlights on them, which I don't think really adds or subtracts anything from the overall experience.
That was a fun one. That was just a creepy little episode.
Yeah, the latest one. Yeah.
Everybody experiences something different. Mm-hmm. They all get something unique.
Yep.
The thing that Alex got, who's the camera operator,
like a black orb thing.
That's
it's like
such a weird thing.
Black smudge. And what they do is when they do these, they'll take their phone and they'll just take
usually an iPhone.
They'll just take like a shit ton of pictures. Just spam the picture button.
Yep.
And then they'll scroll through all like 100 pictures and see if they find something. And like 9 times out of 10 they never do. It'll be just this, and I bet it's so heartbreaking for them to be like, because in the moment, that took like 10 minutes minimum to spam pictures and then scroll through them all and zoom in and scroll through them all and delete them if they don't need them. And in the episode, it'll be like maybe a minute long from how they edit it down. But I feel so bad for them when it's like, oh, take pictures. Didn't get anything. Fuck. 20 minutes down the drain.
Alex captures this thing, this entity.
Yeah.
Right? Which is this weird black fog mist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you that ghosts are real. I'm not gonna try and explain or convince you of that. But I find it interesting that more and more paranormal activity concerned with these digital phones that we have, right? Mm-hmm. They tend to appear up as these almost shapeless masses of darkness.
Yeah, like black, gray.
The thing that freaks me out the most about that is that your camera could identify a wall or a threshold of a door. Mm-hmm. But if there's darkness in it, and these are the basics, right? If there is nothing but black, mm-hmm. you have no data there.
Yeah.
There is nothing to actually record.
Mm-hmm. And so these...
It just further validates that creepiness.
That it might... is.
They could have just put it in there.
They could have, but also... I don't know, that seems like a lot of extra effort and hard to do on the spot like that. Because you see not only, like, they put the picture in editing, but you also see him putting his phone in front of his camera, and you just see it on his own screen.
Which is a little different from Ghost Adventures, where they'll just show you everything.
Yeah, because they lie. They're liars. They lie.
Most likely they are. Willow.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the beloved George Lucas film.
The classic movie. This
late 70s, early 80s.
No.
But this goddamn live action remake.
This TV show that...
Which is aptly named Willow after itself. I can't get over that.
I can't believe they also just called it Willow. Like, not like Willow Chronicles or something. You know, just Willow. Just like the movie.
It's dumb.
And Willow's not even the main character. Let's be honest. He's there, but it's an ensemble cast.
So in that last episode, how did you feel?
We skipped 2, and then we tried to watch them both. We watched 1, and then we got most of the way through the second, but the second episode, for some reason, was like an hour and a half long.
Decided to be a Rings of Power for no fucking reason.
So much longer, and so both were dumb. The first one we watched, nothing happened, other than, oh, surprise, the one girl in our team who wasn't a princess is actually a princess. She's like the Bone Reaver princess. All girls have to be princesses. Duh.
Yeah, all 3 of them are, aren't they?
You can't just have a knight lady. She has to be a princess.
The choreography was weak. The costume design was okay. The set design... You're just ripping off the minds of Moria.
It's just wandery. Like, every episode is... You can tell they're desperate to figure out how to drag out their runtime. And they just... The team will split into pairs. In each episode, it'll be a different pair. So at least there's a different conversation to be had, in theory. But it just means they never actually get to interact with each other. It's just these one-on-one pairs where it's like, I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you. Resolution. That's it. Because there's so many characters, we don't get to spend enough time with them.
We also watched National Treasure.
Oh yeah, the TV series that has nothing to do with the original movies.
If you hate She-Hulk, you have to watch this because it's even worse.
Oh my god, it's like it legitimately feels like a student film. Like, it reminds me of my fun college days, because it's the same quality as students desperately running around being like, how do we get a thing filmed for this week's project?
It hurts.
I
don't even like National Treasure, and I just keep watching it. It's one of those dumb shows that I enjoy watching because it's meaningless, because thoughtless.
It's bad. There is a thing, like, there's 2 different kinds of bad. There's bad as in it's annoying or painful to watch. And then there's bad where it's almost entertaining in how bad it is. How laughable it can be.
Yeah, it's painful.
National Treasure, the thing so, like, our main character is an illegal immigrant.
Oh, they love bringing that up.
And they bring it up constantly. I have never seen... No one talks like this. No one's like, I could get deported. She brings it up every single fucking scene to every single character. And I'm like, no one brings it up this often or this flippantly. I know, I've talked to people. Like one of my friends.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, you're my best friend for life. Oh, you can get deported? I'm sorry. I can't say anything anymore.
And I know it's weird because they're using it like as a stand-in for die. Because it's Disney. We can't threaten our characters with death. Characters can't die. But they could be. That's the stand-in. The ultimate fate of you'll be deported, not you'll die. You know.
Because even the main villain is not intimidating.
No, and it's Catherine Zeta-Jones, and
who we saw on Wednesday. Well, let's talk about Wednesday really quick. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna lay this out really quick. I am so sick and tired of Wednesday.
Yeah, people keep talking about it.
We watched it a long time ago when it first aired.
Yep, back in November with Thanksgiving.
And then it got some weird resurgence.
Yeah.
And it's just more annoying than ever.
Thank you all for helping get my video up to 28,000 views now.
Hey, good job, guys. Whether you liked it or not.
I got a comment. Someone was like, you were just hating on it to be on the trend. And I was like, yes. I watched the show, wrote a 10-page long script.
You know what the trend was?
Edited it all together to be trendy.
You know what the trend was?
Huh?
Fucking show up and watch it.
Yeah.
That was the trend.
And people are like trickling in.
No, knock it off. You're done.
Yeah, I'm like,
fake fan, get out of here.
I have nothing left to say of Wednesday.
It's not a good show.
I would love it if it got good eventually.
I watched Amsterdam last night.
Yeah, I couldn't. I tried. I was so bored. It was painfully bored me to tears.
Starred my favorite actor, who I thought did a really piss poor job.
Yes, Christian Bale. His accent, not great. And he's usually good with accents. As far as, like, you know, British people doing American.
I was reading something about him. That he stopped method acting.
Good.
I don't know what that really entails.
Maybe he stopped emaciating himself for roles?
I know when he was younger, yeah, he was doing that, and he was just getting, like, either super jacked or super skinny.
I think method acting in general is incredibly unhealthy.
Yes, it is.
And I would always deter anyone from ever doing method. Yeah, his accent just wasn't very believable. It definitely sounded like someone doing a Jewish accent. Not like a stereotypical or offensive accent, but he's like, I have to think about what I am saying and how I want to say it.
Every time I watched this character that Christian Bale played get high, all I saw was The Fighter.
Oh, but that's a good movie.
Where,
Is it The Fighter or Cinderella Man?
It's The Fighter.
They came out right next to each other.
No, they didn't.
Didn't they?
No, they fucking
Maybe
didn't.
I just watched them
Cinderella
right next to each
Man
other.
will tear you to pieces.
I just watched them next to each other then.
If you don't know the story of the Cinderella Man, it hurts a lot. Mm-hmm. And that's a feel-good movie. That's one of those movies where you're like, yeah, you mess them up. You win. You make the money. You get through the Great Depression, right?
Now I just want
The Fighter is just about a bunch of fucking junkies in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
It's the story of Mickey and Dickie, and
I know that's their names.
Mickey's played by everyone's favorite Marky Mark.
Ugh.
And Dickie is played by Christian Bale. And they're brothers.
I just want a Punch-Out movie, now that I think about it. That's all I really want. I like Punch-Out. I like Punch-Out.
Those Rocky movies were good.
But I want Punch-Out. I want them to speak their native language.
I'm so glad I watched the Rocky movies, because when people talk about fighting, I'm like, yeah, but it's not like Rocky. Rocky's so much good.
Rocky is on another level.
Like, I could go on forever about Rocky. I don't want to.
There's a lot to dive into with Rocky.
Amsterdam was supposed to be a murder mystery. Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out.
Yeah, the actual murder mystery.
Which is... I don't even know if I can say that either.
Glass Onion feels like a comic book movie.
Yes.
With how bright and how niche the characters are. The characters are always... caricatures.
Yep.
Which is fun. It's a very fun take on a murder mystery. And maybe because everyone hyped up Glass Onion so much, and they're like, it's the bestest ever. I thought it was fine. It was okay. It wasn't as good as Knives Out, but it was fun. It was whatever. Another instance of a British person with a not too convincing accent.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Daniel Craig doing Benoit Blanc, who has a French name but is Southern, played by a British man.
What's his name?
Benoit Blanc.
Blanc.
Yeah, white.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
I'm wondering if it was a play on Clue, where all your characters were color themed.
Did you hear Ryan Reynolds was supposed to be part of the new Clue movie?
Really? Hell yes! Who's he gonna be? Yeah, he better not be Mr. Body. He could be Professor Plum. Ryan Reynolds could be Professor Plum. If he's Mr. Body, I'm gonna be pissed. Mr. Body's the victim.
Glass Onion was okay. Rian Johnson, the director of Knives Out, Glass Onion, and Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
The second to worst one.
It's so weird to watch The Last Jedi and be like, how are these your decisions that you thought were okay? And I put in air quotations here. And then you watch these movies and you're like, you did way better here.
I guess maybe just he's not you can tell he's very, very passionate about mystery and like suspense thriller themed things.
Yeah, a lot more
and maybe
heart.
he just didn't. It wasn't in his heart with like a CG green screen heavy special effect slog like Star Wars is.
So we go on to our next one. We watched, because it was the end of the year, we watched a lot of these bigger films
that we didn't get to beforehand.
We had talked about them. The Invitation, I kind of slightly mentioned, was not a big film. It cost $10 billion. 10 million, my bad.
It cost $10 million? On
cost $10 million.
Silk dresses?
Made $33.3 million, so it's a commercial success.
Sure.
Unlike Black Adam, which is just a failure. Let's just continue to bring that up.
I would love
to.
Fuck
Black Adam.
Fuck Black Adam.
Look, here's the problem with Black Adam. And it was my boss. He was asking me, and he goes, how is he any different than Shazam?
He's not. He even has to say Shazam to transform.
And that was main point, right?
Uh-huh.
He can go from either being a weak, scrawny human or to the superhero, just like Shazam.
It's the exact same. Same powers.
How do you explain what's the difference? Oh, this one's magic is evil? That's it?
This one's a white man, and that one
is an egomaniac.
That one has the black outfit. It's for bad. In the comics, he had pointed ears. I remember that. Black Adam?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
We watched it. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was a little too heavy to watch.
It was not as... Again, it wasn't as amazing as everyone said, but I did enjoy it. Maybe because for me, the concept of a multiverse, like how it was presented in this movie, is a thing I have thought about a lot before. Like, nothing about this was new or innovative to me. It was an interesting way to see it happen on a film screen, but it was fun. It was fun, cute.
It was a fun movie, but here's my issue with it. And it's a multiverse film, so you have to take that into mind when you're watching it. The title is very apt. Mm-hmm. You can go anywhere, all at once, right? Mm-hmm. Or everywhere, anywhere, all at once. And when you do that, you allow yourself to go to infinity. There's a problem with me. I don't like that idea. I like to have these constructs where you have to be stopped. Well, this movie it doesn't care. It can break through any of those barriers.
Characters are interesting when they have weaknesses.
Yes.
And if you can do anything everywhere all at once, you have no weaknesses.
They don't build those constructs, arguably, until the end, where it's actually really... The whole film is really about a mother and daughter.
Yes, and it's a cute way of really jazzing up the story of a family that's in shambles but trying to figure things out.
Yep.
I was thinking about it because like in Inside Out, there's been a version that someone edited together where they cut out all of the like emotion parts and it's just the girl, like the real world parts. And I was wondering if you could do that with Everything Everywhere All at Once, where you cut out the multiverse parts and have just the family parts. Because I wonder if the story would still read as powerfully without the fantasy elements.
Now, not to actually shit on the movie that we just watched. It is well shot.
I love the cast.
The casting is amazing. Her husband is Short Round from Indiana Jones.
And she's the main heroine from, what is it called? Hidden something Crouching Tiger. Hidden Dragon Crouching Tiger?
Yeah, Hidden Dragon Crouching Tiger.
Which
she's
I
also
love.
Shang-Chi's aunt.
Yeah.
When he goes to the mythical realm.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter was more of a new actress.
Yeah. I looked her up. I didn't recognize anything she's been in.
The other villain was Jamie Lee Curtis.
Mm-hmm. Which was an interesting one, but fun. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a great actress.
And there are comedic moments where like the bad guys are trying to shove dildos or
they're trying to shove things up their asses. Yeah.
Up their butts.
It made sense.
So that they become more powerful.
In the lore, it made sense. Because you had to do specific things to unlock specific abilities from different multiverses.
Yep.
And, whatever. It was fun. It was cute, very lighthearted fun.
And that was part of it. That was an interesting movie. I thought it was more interesting that Paramount Plus, after we watched it, they were like, you want to watch The Green Knight?
Yeah.
And I was like, it was a year ago to this day.
It was.
We watched this, and we're still not ready for it.
I'm still traumatized. But then, before we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, we are big,
Hold on.
liars.
I want to just really point out something. Mm-hmm. I love Tom Cruise.
You do? I think he's a great actor.
I think he's a phenomenal actor who does action movies way too well. And for this last one, which is a sequel that came 30 years later, and just was the highest grossing film of this year, Avatar, The Way of Water will never beat it because it doesn't have enough time.
No.
But Top Gun Maverick was that good.
We watched it, and after all that shit we talked, we made
There's no way it was that good.
Like,
it was.
It can't be that good. It was good. And you know what? It was actually far and above beyond the quality of the first one. Like, regular Top Gun, awful. Maverick, really, really fun.
I would describe Top Gun from the 80s as Mach 3. Well, I would describe Maverick as Mach 10.
That's a good way of putting it. I don't think you need to see the first one.
If you've seen them, you know the reference I made there.
Yeah. I don't think you need to see the first one, and I would recommend just watching Maverick. It was a lot of fun. I think what helped was there was way less of the stupid, corny, sappy romance crap, which was not well written. I love me a good rom-com. I love me a good romance. I love it when it's done well, and it wasn't in Top Gun. It's just stupid in Top Gun.
I really thought, here's a spoiler for you, but I really thought Maverick was going to die.
I did too, and I'm glad no one did.
And it comes right down to the wire.
Yeah, the actual, flight, action, thrilling. Thrilling! I was on the edge of my seat for an hour.
This film knocks it out of the park, the 3-act structure, because the great climax isn't till the very end.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes before the credits. And you're just sitting there waiting for it. And it does pay off.
It's fun. It's funny. All of the supporting cast, all the other characters, also very memorable and endearing. Yeah, Warlock's there.
Warlock did a great job.
I did. I
like
appreciate
Hangman.
Warlock more now. Hangman, yeah. I liked Phoenix and Bob. I thought they were a fun duo.
You heard me at the end just screaming, please
Where's
let Hangman.
Yeah.
Let him get into this fight.
This was a nice touch. I really liked the fact that everyone's, like, call signs were, like, decorated on their helmets. So, at a glance, you could see who was who, which was a really big problem with the first one. I was like, who are you? Which one are you? I can't, my old crone dumb eyes can't see shit.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm. I really liked it. I would watch it again, you know? It's long. So you're in for a bit of a... I can see why it was in theaters for so long. It was really good. It was as good as people say the first one was.
So all I can say from this point on is that Avatar: Way of Water has blown me out of expectations. They dominated. They did better than they could.
Yeah, but they're getting less than a great reviews out of it.
No.
I don't know. Everything I have seen has been very, like, eh.
Every person I've met also who's seen it says, fuck this one.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the numbers, it's doing so great. Way of Water is just destroying. I figured I would just talk about it more next week.
I love how the third one is going to be about the Fire Nation. Because he has no...
So it's called Avatar 3,
ideas.
The Seed Bearer. The bearer of seeds.
The cum shot.
And they're going to deal with the Fire Tribe Na'vi.
The Ash people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna release the same week as Sonic the Hedgehog 3. 3 for 3. Sonic can beat them. Sonic can do it. We got this. Come on, Shadow fans. We got this. I am the highest life form.
But Avatar's still killing it. I'm just amazed that people are still watching this. I don't understand why.
Well, also, what else is coming out? Nothing. There's still nothing coming out.
We did a special podcast about Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And I did a little thing on Twitter to have people vote on their own.
Yeah.
Nobody voted for Elf.
No one voted for Elf. In fact, this year I've seen a lot of people talking about how they actually hate Elf. They find it annoying. Which was fascinating to me. Because, like, if you asked us 10 years ago, when, like, we were in high school or whatever, that was everyone's number one pick, was Elf. It's crazy seeing the greats fall.
Nightmare was the highest voted one.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who voted for Noelle.
And then Write Your Own. Nobody wrote their own except for Zero's a Hero with Spider-Man.
Yeah, which I also forgot was technically a Christmas movie.
Me too.
I think it's better than being a Christmas movie. But it was a fun little way of seeing you guys decide on what was what.
Yeah, and we threw that out there just as a little surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. As of doing this podcast, it made 290 views.
Mm-hmm.
It's not big, but for this podcast, that's huge.
For us, that's big.
Yeah. And we love each and every single one of you. We're glad that people outside of here could enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you enjoyed. Had something fun to listen to during your holiday times. When you're trapped at grandma's and you don't want to listen to football or whatever.
Yep. And then we got Pokemon news.
Is there Pokemon news? Oh,
not really.
I remember you talking about this. So
the Pokemon news is kind of interesting. There's obviously going to be DLC to Scarlet and Violet.
Yes, obviously.
But then there's another thing going on where X and Y, Pokemon X and Y, is in November of this year, will have to get renewed for a copyright.
I'm sure, without a doubt, they will. Because they don't want to lose.
Yeah, they don't want anyone to even take that name. Don't even touch it. We're going to just... Apparently, they did the same thing with Pokemon Brown.
Yeah, they. This is the fun part. Look at what other things they'll get copyrights for, because they'll do it in chunks. Because even if it doesn't actually become a game, they don't want you knowing what the next game is going to be called. So, like, at one point in time, it was like, they got Pokemon Amethyst, Pokemon Brown version, Pokemon Orange version, Pokemon Cyan version, you know. They'll do that, so you can't, like, predict what's going to happen. And I bet they're going to do a bunch of, like, Brilliant X, Shining Y type deals, you know? Omega X, Alpha Y.
Yeah. If you look at the map, and you look at the map of the world, Paldea is España and Portugal.
Yeah.
But there's a chunk of it that's missing.
And it's definitely Kalos.
And it's Kalos, right?
Hell yeah.
Which means we might be able to Mega Evolve our Pokemon. With them having to renew every copyright about it, and then having this DLC opportunity, why not?
I would honestly just be thrilled if they did a Gold and Silver and had us just get to go through all of Kalos again.
Johto.
Well, in Gold and Silver it was Johto, but for this, because since we're attached to Kalos, I would love it. Like, they've never had anything like that before. Even if the DLC was like $30, I think I'd be willing to get it. Just to have that extra adventure on top of my adventure. You know?
Yeah, no, that sounds fun.
And if they introduce Megas again, that'd be pretty cool. Might be a reason why Terra raids aren't really transformative. You know?
Yeah, they're really not.
I'm not a fan of Terra Pokemon, terrestrialized Pokemon.
I wasn't a big fan of Gigantamax, but the future's wide open.
Pokemon. They got a lot going on. It's crazy to me that they reached quadruple digits. They surpassed 1,000 Pokemon. I remember being like a kid and
wondering if they're ever gonna do it.
When you're sitting there staring at like the first 151 and you're like, I wonder what happens if there's like 1,000 Pokemon. There's always now there are. And I know all of them.
Okay, well that was Coffee Break.
A nice fun little, we're back at it with 2023. Nice little Coffee Break episode.
Yeah. I think that was the episode right there.
Yep. Nothing else to say. Hope you guys have a good time.
Me too.
See you next week.
Enjoy. Bye.
Bye.